Alrighty, it's 2014. Mr. Survivor had their countdown to free event, and here's my thoughts on the competition so far. So, going into this competition, I figured that it was actually going to be pretty straightforward compared to the Miss Survivor competition for this year, because I was looking at this group of people and I go, there's really only 6 or 7 people that have a shot of getting this prize. Tony, Josh, Reed, Spencer, maybe John Mish, maybe LJ, maybe Jeremy. And that was pretty much what I thought when I was doing my voting. However, I actually couldn't think of a third person to vote for because I did have 2 easy picks. One person because I figured he would do great in the debates, and then the other person purely just on an entertainment level. But between the remaining people that I mentioned, I couldn't think of a third person, so eventually I just decided, okay. Screw it. I'm not gonna vote for a real third person. I'm just going to throw away my vote and hopefully see how little votes that this guy gets. So I threw my vote away to David, and I just cracked up when he was the very first person announced. Although I am pretty certain he got more votes than Rocker did, because yeah, if David gets less than Rocker, I'm gonna be way shocked. I mean, like, there's definitely more reason for people to be fans of Rocker, but I just can't see that. And so that countdown, that was a pretty interesting countdown. There were quite a few surprises, both in terms of people getting fall and people going out early, because Wes going out before Keith, that kind of surprised me, because you know how I was kind of hot on Keith, but I did look on the Survivor Facebook page and saw that there were quite a lot of thumbs up for comments saying that he should have won, but whatever. So that was a shock, but that wasn't nearly as shocking as Alec finishing lower than Drew, although on the tabulator, I can never remember his real name, did bring up a valid point that there's all kinds of reasons as to why people vote in this competition. I myself had varying reasons for each person, and he brings up the possibility that it could be simply that Drew had more of a personality than Alec, so if that really was the case, yeah, okay, I'll buy that. So those were a couple of shockers. Then LJ finishing like 9th or 8th. Once the tabulator described what happened on LJ's Twitter feed, I do kind of understand that, because I actually did almost vote LJ for my third pick, but I was looking at him and I go, you know what? I'm not entirely sure that if you get this, you're going to actually do anything with it. You're probably actually going to pass on this, I bet. So I'm like, you know what? Screw it. I think I'm definitely not going to vote for you. And turns out I was basically right to do it, even though LJ did state that he wasn't necessarily opposed to it. He just didn't want to actively campaign for it. Interesting. Then there were a couple of surprises for people getting as far as they did. Wu and Jeremiah, and that was a little bit impressive, because like I know that there were a lot of people who were claiming that they were hot for Jeremiah doing Cagayan, but yeah, just Jeremiah doesn't strike me as the kind of person that I'd want to see as like Mr. Survivor, even though I do know that his edit on Cagayan wasn't really like the best, because all the Beauty Tribe people, minus possibly LJ, I think got bad edits. Form your own opinions on that, okay? And then Wu, well, that was a pretty nice job by his followers, because I figure that Wu has a better group of followers than Jeremiah, even though I don't follow really any Survivor contestants on any social media website. I don't really count Rob Sesternino as a Survivor contestant anymore. He's more of a blogger who happens to have appeared on a reality show, you know? Yeah. Still a good job to you, Wu, although I'm glad you're not in the top 3. As for this top 3, I feel like that this is a good top 3. We could have seen these people getting there pretty easily, and I actually did vote for 2 of them. Well, they were my only real picks, because I did throw away my vote to David there, so I might as well tell you who I voted for. I voted for Spencer. He was the one who I figured would be good at these debates, plus I knew that tons of us liked him because he was voted as for the Rob Has a Podcast fan favorite player, although a bunch of us could have seen that coming. And then Tony, well, he's the guy who I voted because of his entertainment on the show. Although I actually would not be surprised at all if he decides, you know what, screw it, I don't really feel like doing this, and then John ends up replacing him, but I'm not opposed to that. Because I did consider voting for John and Jeremy, but I just couldn't figure out who to do for that third pick. And then Jeremy, well, yeah, there's a lot of people out there who liked the guy and were really shocked at his elimination, so what the heck. It'll be interesting to see what he brings to the table, because he strikes me as somebody who could definitely, pardon me, put a unique angle on this, but what is that angle going to be? So it seems like there's really only two possible combos for how this top three could turn out. The top three that we have, or Tony gets replaced with John, because I figure out of the three, Tony is the least likely to do this. And unlike last year, there really isn't a clear-cut winner. I think a lot of you are actually expecting Spencer to win, and I think I'll agree with you that pre-debate, Spencer is definitely the favorite to win this, but it could change, okay? Because it all depends on how the debates go, because like Miss Survivor 2 years ago, I bet a lot of people were going to vote for Kim over Chelsea and RC, but I felt like Kim kind of bombed the debate, to be honest, and Chelsea actually did pretty good, so that's why I cast my vote for her, although it didn't work out, but whatever, that's in the past. So Spencer's definitely the favorite before the debates, but it could go either way, although I definitely don't expect Tony to win in this incarnation unless he, like, blows our minds, okay? Well, that's pretty much my thoughts on this whole thing. I'll recap Miss Survivor, and then I'll do one final video recounting everything else.